Hello, welcome back into the garage. So when we left off, I'd just given this rim a wash off in the bath, let it dry off, and then I sat in the sun after that in the evening, and the next morning polishing the spokes up. So I used this Never Dull polish, which I hadn't used before. Worked quite well actually. There was some black tarnishing on the spokes, but that's all gone, and then I went over it with Auto Sol afterwards, and now I'm really happy with them. I'll flash up a picture now of how they look. Yeah, once again, really happy with the job. It's a shame about the rim having this rust on it, but it is what it is. Yeah, had a few deliveries, which is really good. Chain and sprocket have arrived, so I can get on with the rear wheel at some point, and then some new indicators for the bike, which means I can do the electronics now. Not something I'm looking forward to. Being colourblind, not my favourite job really, but it's got to be done at some point. But now, just to finish up the rim, going to change the bearings, get the brake disc bolted back on it, get the tyre on, then we can get it on, get the brake bled, and then yeah, get on with the electronics. So let's get on with this wheel. So I just checked what I've been filming here, and it's all really blurry. So you're going to have to take my word for it that with the heat gun, these bearings, both of them dropped out really easily. If you have, this is a very cheap temperature gun. So it's currently at 91 degrees, so it's actually retaining the heat really well. If you get it to around 100 degrees, the bearings are going to drop out really easily, which they did. Once they were out, I heated it back up again to 100 degrees, put a little bit of grease on the outside of the bearing, and it just dropped straight in, went straight into the end of the hole. So that was really good. I've still got the other side to put in. I'll try and get some footage of that, hopefully not too blurry, and you can see how it's done, but it's really easy. So I'll drop the spacer back in already. I can sit in there. I'll get this bearing greased up before we start getting it hot. Doesn't need a lot, just a smear around the outside. Alright, let's go. So we're already at 100 degrees there. Let's see how this goes. Done. So let's get the tyre on and get it on the bike. Okay, tyre's all mounted up. Just need to clean up the tab washers and stuff like that before bolting the brake disc back on. So we're going to get on with that now and get them fitted up. Okay, I'm ready to start reassembling this for the brake caliper. So we've got a little O-ring here to start with. Put grease on. Drop that on there. And we have the drive for the speedo. That can sit on there in between the two holes for the bolts. And the cap for that afterwards. It can only go one way. And the bolts themselves. Grease on. This one needs a little bit of persuasion. Edit that one out of the video later on. So the actual speedo drive can wait for now. That can go on last. Okay, and the brake disc itself. pipe washer. A little bit of copper grease. No. Then we can start to tighten this up. Don't actually know what the torque is for these, so I'm just going to tighten them with a bit of feeling. Perfect. So now we just have to bend up these tabs, which is the security on them, and then after that, speedo drive and then stick it in. The disc itself, I actually sandblasted the centerpiece because the black paint from the factory was wearing away. So, and I also did this with Cerakote Auto, same as I did with the switches. Yeah, looks really nice. It's going to last for a long time. Give this one a little tweak more just to get it to line up on a flat. Done. So the speedo drive, I'll just pack a bit more grease into it. And you have to line up the two splines. That's it. So we're ready for the axle. I'll give this plenty of grease. Help it to rotate, but also a little bit of protection against the elements. We have a spacer on the other side. Grease on that also. And then the big nut. Put some copper grease on the thread. Okay, I'm going to drop this down on the floor and get some tools on it to nip this up. Again, I don't know if there's a torque for this, so I'm just going to fix it. Plant tight enough when I took it apart. That's fine, it still rotates nicely. That's good. Alright, let's get it mounted then. Mega. It looks like a bike again. Okay, so that's the rim refurbished and back on the bike. Again, really happy with how this has turned out. Fender is also back on, I gave that a polish up. There's a couple of dents in it which still need to be knocked out at some point, but that's going to wait for another day. I don't have any hammers here to try and hammer those back out of it. I also made the mistake of putting the wheel on before the fender, so I had to quickly drop the wheel back out to put it back in. So if you're going to do a restoration like this as well, just remember to put the fender back on before you put the wheel on. All that's left now is to bleed the brake here. Everything is tight. I've been watching some videos from this guy called Classic Octane on YouTube. He has a method of putting the brake fluid in a syringe and syringing it in through the bleed nipple, and pressure bleeding it backwards, so I'm going to give that a go, see how it goes. If not, I'll just go back to bleeding it normally. I don't have a vacuum pump with me. I might have to cable tie the brake lever open and just let the bubbles rise out of it. But let's see how we get on. Okay, don't know how this is going to go. I didn't have any pipe that was the right size for this syringe, so I've kind of made something go together. Let's see what this will do. Okay, we have fluid coming up into the master cylinder here. Oh okay, we had a fountain of fluid there. Okay. Alright, so I've had a fountain of brake fluid coming out of the master cylinder, so the lines must be full. Let's see what we've got. So I can't really say that I'm convinced by this method of bleeding it. It's definitely filled the lines quickly, but it hasn't really bled it at all. So I'm going to order myself a vacuum bleeder and have another go at this another day. I'll show you the lever now. It's really soft. So yeah, wait for this vacuum bleeder to arrive, but until then I'm going to finish up the electronics. Well, I'll start with the electronics, see how I get on with that. Fingers crossed. Like I said, it's a job that I really hate, but it has to be done. Let's get on with it. Alright, the ultimate joy for a colourblind man is to try and reconnect all this old wiring. Let's see how we get on. I have my climber manual here with me, which has the wiring diagram in it. Yeah, I absolutely hate this job, so let's see how it goes. Okay, I've managed to connect possibly one wire, and then I've gone into this one, which is, if I look at the diagram, blue-brown. To me it's blue-red. I think I'm going to be here for a few hours with this. Alright, let's see if the colourblind electrician has been successful. Ignition on, headlight on, high beam, low beam, indicator left, indicator right. Still no horn. Some work to do, but nice, I'm happy. So thanks for watching, guys. It's been a really productive day, I would say. The bike is alive again, which is mega. Front end is also looking good. I'm gonna have a couple of days off from this now before coming back and then starting on the rear end. So yeah, thanks for watching. If you'd like to subscribe and like the video, that would be awesome. And yeah, tell your friends and family about this great new YouTube channel that you've just discovered. Yeah, thanks a lot, guys. Have a good spring holiday and stay indoors. Stay working on bikes or watching YouTube videos. Cheers, guys.